Today I'm doing a quick review of the Streamlight Sidewinder stock. The stock is a compact helmet mountable light with white, color, and infrared modes, as well as an infrared IFF beacon mode. This device is pretty impressive, what you get for the money. For starters, it is assembled in the US. I don't know if that means, fully very compliant, quote unquote, made in the USA, but it is at least assembled in the USA, which is typically good for QC, and it has a lot of functionality crammed into this really small package. And the whole kit, I believe, costs on the order of $120. So what you get to start with is you get this multicolor LED head. So up at the top here you have this mode selector dial, and I have it in off right now. You can put it to white, and then I'll just shine some light here. So we've got it comes on at low level, and then you can hold it down, and there are 3 levels that it'll step through. And there's a flashing mode if you double tap, and then if we go over to the color mode, and by the way, there are sort of there's a little ridge on the IR side, so you can tell what direction this is pointing just by touch, which is very important if this is helmet mounted. So we put it on the color mode. Right now I have it set to red. However, we can change the color like this, so you can cycle between red, green, or blue. I'll just go ahead and leave that on red. Same deal here. We have 3 power levels, and then infrared is the same. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on this camera. I think this camera has a pretty good infrared filter, but rest assured it does in fact work. It's not very bright in infrared. I would guess it's maybe on the order of 5 to 10 milliwatts. So it's sufficient for basically doing something with your hands. If you're reading a manual, or if you're assembling something or whatever, this is going to be sufficient with Gen 3 goggles. If you are doing something like clearing a room, this is not going to be bright enough. But that's not what this really is for, right? This is more for up close manual tasks, reading something, messing with controls, whatever. This is perfect for that. So while we're in IR mode, we also have the ability to pop off this little safety cover, and we can turn on this IFF beacon. And this IFF beacon is very bright in infrared. You can see it from really far away. I was quite impressed with how powerful the IFF beacon was. It's competitive with the flashbulb based beacon that I have, some old military surplus model. So that works great. I'm sure someone could see you miles away if they had line of sight to this thing running in beacon mode. So that is really, I think, what makes this a great deal. Normally, if you want something with an IFF beacon on it, that's like an extra, even if you buy like the cheapest Chinese-made one, that's like an extra $40. If you buy an American-made IFF beacon, those are, hundreds of dollars in many cases, or at the very least, at least half the cost of this whole device. So that's a great feature to have that built in. Oh, and in case that wasn't clear, it's this little transparent piece of plastic in the middle of the mode selector dial. That's where the IFF beacon flash comes out, and you can push it to either side. So let's go ahead and close that back up. A really nice feature of these things is the dual battery system. So you can actually use either CR123 or AA in the same device. So they have a clever little spring system in there that lets you put in either battery, and they've done a good job in the electrical engineering, so it can accept a wide range of input voltages, all the way down to what you would get from a single AA battery. So they did a really good job on that too. That's great to have that extra flexibility to use whatever kind of battery you might have available, or whatever the rest of your system uses. This is the removable helmet mount rail. There are several different accessories that you can attach to this device for mounting. They have a Velcro accessory and various different kinds of connectors, but I personally use this arc rail connector to go on my helmet. They have this set screw here, which I'm using to keep it in place on my helmet, and I assume that's what it's for. This is sort of the one thing I've had an issue with on this device, is this set screw kept coming out of my helmet, so there wasn't a lot of torque in there. I put a little bit of Loctite blue thread locker in there, but now the problem is that the torque on the screw is so high that if I rotate it, instead of unscrewing, it just rotates the entire threaded assembly, which suggests to me that the overmolding isn't very good. It doesn't feel like it's going to come out or anything, but I cannot remove this screw from this device anymore, unless maybe I used some pliers on that little exposed metal piece or something. So to get this on and off my helmet, I just kind of have to bend it a little bit, and then it can come off, which I guess, you know, that works for me. But this little attachment rail, very solid. It's clipped on both ends. It's got a little clip over here, and then it's screwed on this end. I also put some Loctite on that. This stock, of course, is bendy, so you have some flexibility in terms of where the light's going and where you mount this. And on the bottom of the device, we've got some instructions, which is nice in case you forget, you know, how to change color or whatever. Let's see, can you see that on there? In case you forget how to change color, you can just go ahead and read that. And these are individually serialized, which, you know, generally that's a good sign for the amount of effort they're putting into QC and stuff. So overall, really nice device. My main complaints are just that I wish it went a little bit brighter, especially in infrared mode, and I wish that the overmolding on the screw socket was a little bit better. But other than that, super, super impressive for just on the order of $120. Strongly recommend it.